Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Sadguru Paramatmane Namaha. Sarva Maharshibhyo Namaha.
He who sees God everywhere and finds everything is God is ever with God. 30th Sloka. Yo mam pasyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pasyati tasyaham na pranasyami sachame na pranasyati.
Substance. He who sees me in all beings and all beings in me never becomes lost to me, nor do I become lost to him. Commentary. Lord Krishna is Paramatma in all, and so the yogi of universal vision sees the Lord everywhere and everything in the Lord. When the individual self has become one with Atma, the individual and the Supreme Self live together. How can one be lost to the other? Here, the word pasyati does not mean seeing with the physical eye. Seeing is experiencing the self everywhere. From the point of view of the devotee, the Lord is Paramatma. It is explained here how the Lord's grace works on the devotee. He who sees the Lord everywhere receives the fullness of His grace. The Lord is ever alive to the devotee, and the devotee is ever alive to the Lord. No doubt all are the children of the Lord, but the devotee has given up his child's play with material things and yearns to live with the Lord. So the Lord has him ever under his loving eye and wonderful care, watchful care. Of what avail is it to spend whole lifetime seeking for the favor of some petty worldly person when the Lord himself is ever near the individual, ready to confer the highest blessings of life? Why not approach him? Through gnana, equal vision, and purity, the Lord's grace could be obtained in full. Having once obtained it, never is it lost again. To see the Lord in all and the Lord in all things is the aim of yogi. This is Sarvatma Drishti. Question. What is the effect of union with Atma? Answer. The yogi sees the Lord in all things and lives ever with the Lord. The yogi of universal vision lives in the Lord, whatever he does. 31st Sloka. Sarvabhutastitam yo mam bhajatyekattvamastitaha sarvatha vartamanopi sayogi mai vartate. Substance. The yogi who worships me, abiding in all beings, and who is established in unity, abides in me in whatever manner he is acting. Commentary. Where is God? What is the way to establish oneself in Him? These questions are answered here. God exists everywhere, in all beings of the universe. Nothing exists where He is not. Like cream in milk, like honey in flowers, like sugar in sugarcane. God is present everything. So, knowing that God is present in all, one should not harm others. One should have friendly feeling and kindness for all beings and do service to them. This would be worship of the Lord. The yogi who has realized the oneness of all beings by perceiving the Lord as the inner reality lives forever in the Lord. Just as the same sun is reflected in 1,000 different globules of water, just as the same man can play different parts in a drama by change of dress, just as the same gold exists in 100 varieties of jewels, just as the same clay appears in parts of different shapes and size. Even so, the Lord exists in everything as the undifferentiated substratum. To worship Him and meditate on Him is the way to reach Him. The yogi does not always remain in meditation. There are times when he acts in the world. Will he then lose contact with the Lord? This doubt is cleared here. Though the yogi is engaged in 100 practical works in the world, he lives in the Lord. This is the Lord's declaration. Like the mariner's compass, whose needle always points to the north, the mind of the yogi is always in union with the Lord. though he is acting in the world in a variety of ways. This becomes natural to him by long practice. So he never commits the error of thinking that he is different from others, though from a physical angle of view, every being is separate from everything else. Absorption in samadhi or work in the world are the same for him because he sees the same reality in both. This is the secret of all mighty works performed by the perfected yogi for the benefit of mankind. Writing good books, delivering lectures, conversing and explaining the scriptures, relieving the poor and the suffering, organizing people for holy purposes, moving and acting with common humanity. The perfected yogi lives in the Lord only and has no idea of his being a separate individual. In every way means the word has to be carefully understood. The Lord has not prescribed the nature of action here, but it is self evident that willful and sinful actions are not intended. The man who acts in evil ways is neither a gnani nor a bhakta. The perfected has already transcended all tamasic and rajasic propensities. His actions are born of sattva guna, so they are all pure and helpful, never impure and injurious. It is intended to suggest that the yogi may remain in the ecstasy of meditation or may be actively working in the world, but in both cases he sees and lives in the Lord. Question: where is God? Answer: he is in all beings. Question: what should man do to attain him? Answer: he should cultivate equal and universal vision of the Lord in all things. Question: how should he work in the world? Answer: whether he is absorbed in samadhi or works in the world, he sees the Lord everywhere and abides in him. He who sees all beings like unto himself is the best of all. 32nd Sloka. Atmopamyena sarvatra samam pasyati Arjuna sukham va yadi va dukkam sa yogi paramo mataha. Substance. He who judges pleasure or pain everywhere by the same standard as he applies to himself, that yogi is thought to be the highest. Commentary. The practical aspect of Vedanta is emphasized here. It is in action the philosophy has to be tested and proved. It may be easily said, all is self and the Lord is all. How then should he act in the world? That is the question. The sincere aspirant should be true to himself in word and deed. He should speak only that which he knows and practice that which he speaks. So should religious spirit permeate all the words and actions of its oratories, votaries. Otherwise, their words are of no use. It is the divergence between theory and practice that brings disrepute to a person. The person who speaks religion should be exemplary in his conduct. When it is accepted that Atma is the reality in all beings, what should be the practical conduct of the yogi? How should he think, feel, and act? He should intimately feel that joys and sorrows of all beings are just the same as his own. The pangs of hunger and the bereavement of other people are of the same nature as his own. He understands the sufferings of others, not only of men, but of animals and other beings in the same spirit as his own suffering. Shares the gladness of others and he suffers the pains of others. Such universality of feeling distinguishes the yogi of his highest perfection. This is religion brought into the field of practical action. The Lord exhorts mankind, O ye mortals, desirous of attaining me, love others as you love yourself. Feel for others as you feel for yourself. Be full of kindness and compassion, and then only are you one with me. Thesis like All is Brahman, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, has no meaning if the heart of man remains closed to the pains and pleasures of others. Man must be able to identify himself with others and partake of their joys and sorrows. The brotherhood of man, taught in all religions, is good, but here the truth is enlarged to embrace all creation. The Gita and the Upanishads declare the unity of the whole universe by the presence of the Supreme Lord in everything. The teachings of Gita have broken up all barriers not only between man, but also between man and all other things. The yogi should see the same Atma everywhere. He is the best of yogis who has attained this intimate identity with every being in the universe.